burning down to the wake-up call, to the sun grows cold, to the making it count. Judgment is what defines us, so deep out of space of judgment. I'm cracking your past, stay a fight, why I can't run. It's not just what's the cause, we run.
I did for her, she kept taking me for granted and showed no mercy in fading me away. But that time has come and gone, now everything we need is in our hands. So draw a line in the sand and repeat after me.
I won't look back to what cannot be changed. I won't look back to what cannot be changed.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is, please note. Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you anyway. I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat of down, I cross the lens just to tell you, don't lead the way, don't leave a trace. Then I drown with a shadow playing in the rain. I feel like I'm fading. Come on, give it all you got. Try and save me, but you make it no worse. I'm dying to hear these words. I'll be down the road, cause I know the odds are better on my side. Why don't you try to be wise? I'm calling you cry. I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat of down, I press the lens just to tell you, don't lead the way, don't leave a trace. Then I drown with a shadow playing in the rain. I feel like I'm fading.
And boom, just like that, it's another Thursday night, and you know what that means, party people. It's party time. We are the Video Bros. I'm Bobby Munson. That man beside me, he's the man with the angelic voice. He is Papa Smokes. Had to give a good cheerful one for the holiday season. Papa Smokes, how the hell are you doing?
Wow, that was a really good one, Munson. You really had the sustain just nailed on that one.
I've got my voice back, which is the biggest thing, because you know that I was feeling a little under the weather recently, but it's all back. And you know what? I think some of that magic came in the form of this right here. If you guys could see that, my boy Basser bringing in the big old money's dollar gift sign for big old Bobby Munson. Love that. Love you too, Basser. Thank you very much for that, man. This is being worn. Streams, PPW shows, everything moving forward. And yes, we got some people joining us in the chat here today. And as always, Vamos Tap, you're always tabbing us, keeping the love alive. Thank you, my man. We appreciate it. And yes, Turnbuckle Studios, our good friend Carl Carafell, who you can see on great shows like Turnbuckle Talk and Beats and Beatdowns with myself throughout the week here on our local establishment. Carl, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. And of course, every single week, one of our absolute favorite people in the world. And again, if anybody wants to go reach out to our good friend Auntie Wooji and get yourself a reading, treat yourself to something this holiday season, reach out to Auntie Wooji to get yourself a wonderful tarot reading. Find out more about all the things to deal with tarot as well too. Again, I'm not the one to explain it. You got to reach out to a pro like our good friend Auntie Wooji right there. Man, Papa Smokes, I'm in a damn good mood because we just watched one hell of a great episode of MLW Fusion. I had a lot of fun watching this episode here tonight.
So did I. This was a strong one. And for everybody that wonders where we're from and all that, we're from central Western Canada. Last night or early this morning, it was minus 49 with the wind. It is supposed to be colder than that tomorrow morning. So we needed a hot show like that to warm us up. Everybody get in here, get comfy with us, and stay warm.
I might got the fire going on in the virtual background behind me, but it's cold as hell outside, like Papa Spoke said. I don't know how we do it sometimes, Papa Spokes, but us Canadians, we'll pull through anytime we can. That's right. As long as we got a little bit, around this holiday season, a little eggnog inside the old Timmy's coffee for me tonight. Rocking the Pilsner there, Papa Smokes, the White Rabbit. I know we're on to you, Papa Smokes. The White Rabbit all along, Papa Smokes.
Not me, man. Not me.
But here we go with a review of MLW. We had a big card here tonight, 2 big matchups on this card, and a lot of great stuff in between as well, too. We started things right off the hop with the tables match, Papa Smokes. It is Big Mads Krugger coming out to take on the Southern Psychopath, Mance Warner. Old Mancer's back. This is his first singles match since returning to MLW after quite some time. Commentary said something very interesting here, that during his time away from MLW, Mance Warner actually had started up a very successful man versus bear wrestling company. And that's how he got himself prepared to take on a big monster the side of Big Mads Krugger. This one was chaos, and I know you made a comment before. They might as well not even bother with the ring, and you were damn straight, Papa Smokes. You might as well let these 2 sluggers just hammer it out, and that's exactly what we got to see from them.
Yeah, they weren't in the ring a whole lot. This thing started outside the ring, as one might imagine, with the tables match and these 2 combatants in it. I mean, these guys aren't going to wait for referees or bells or any of that kind of nonsense. So, yeah, Mancer hanging out with the fans a little bit as he started to make his entrance to the ring, playing around with the fans at ringside, and Big Mads Krugger having none of that. Came over the top rope, came down, started taking it to Mance Warner, and this brawl was on its way.
Yeah, you bet. Underway, and man, this one got ugly too, Papa Smokes, when they went to a commercial break, and unfortunately this happened during the commercial break, but we come back, and we get a glimpse of Mance Warner bleeding, the old crimson mask coming down on old Mancer. He has been hurt something bad, and they go to the replay showing that Mads threw him head first right into that steel post, busted him straight open, and Mads is going on the straight beat down. Even at one point, grabbing a screwdriver and starting to dig that right into the face of old Mancer. This was a complete annihilation on the surface. Mads was a monster, taking anything that Mance threw at him, and at the same time, just giving an absolute slaughtering to old Mancer. And that's when the tides turned. And old Mancer, he hung in there. He's a tough old boy. Got a lot of beer and a lot of guts inside of that one. And he managed to outlast this absolute shit kicking from Mads Krugger, and then turns it straight around, dumps Mads off of the edge of the apron, and completely surprising Mads Krugger and pulling the victory. As far as a gimmicky match, and Mads seems to be somebody we can enjoy in a gimmicky match. It works with his gimmick. It works with him. It can be fun, and it works with Mance Warner as well too. I got enough excitement out of this. I enjoyed it. No harm in this match at all, other than the harm done to the 2 combatants.
Well, and I look at it like this too. If this is going to be a feud, we're going to see the main event and the main courses later. This to me was like an appetizer towards this feud. Just a little taste for everybody. Let the two guys in the same room with each other, let them mix it up a little bit, but nothing too over the top or too serious here. They just, yeah, to me, this was a sample and a pretty good one to boot. And I got to hand it to Mance Warner for his swordsmanship. He really did the job up on his forehead there, yeah. And not like some of Tony Khan's boys there that get the little 3 or 4 drips there. This was, as you said, the full-on crimson mask. And I mean, if you're gonna have blood in wrestling, do it upright, man. Not the little nick so that you look nice in pictures later. Oh, Mance doesn't care about that. He gave it a good gouge job, and yeah, and also kudos to MLW for putting that during the commercial break, so no one gets to see anything that they shouldn't be seeing. Come back and the juice is flowing. That's the way to do it. I think it was well done.
Yeah, it drew you right into it, and old Mance are getting the win. So again, putting him over against a guy who's been, virtually unstoppable outside of, the feud he's had with Jacob Fatu, where Fatu bested him a couple times. Mads is relatively been a dominant force inside of there. So again, this really strongly puts Mance Warner over by getting that hero's victory. The guy who took the shit kicking from the monster and survived it and came out victorious. At the same time, it doesn't make Mads look like a chump either. And then he goes off looking strong, knowing that, this was not something that happened because of anything he really did wrong other than take his eye off the prize for just that moment. Mads needs to go back. He needs to regroup. He's going to come back, and he's going to be a lot more pissed off than he ever was before.
Yeah, and Mance addressed the fans afterwards quite informally about having some drinks and all that, but at the same time, he put over Mads Krugger as someone that can hang in the ring with a real killer like Mance Warner, and yeah, again, this feud isn't done. You got the feeling when this match finished that this ain't over, and I think Mance himself said, well, I'm probably going to see this guy again in the future, and we're going to do that dance again. But for tonight, he said, I'm getting drunk.
That's right. Love that line, old Mancer. Fantastic, because that's what you need to do when you've had a hard day. You've been beat up. You need to take the edge off a little bit. Nothing helps that like a good old beer, like Pop Smokes is throwing back there here tonight. Mine a little bit more eggnoggy because it's it's holiday season. I gotta dip into the old eggnog this time of year because it's it's a holiday thing, But yeah, I'm pumped. It's holiday time. It's a little bit more work left to go, but it's almost there. We're getting there. And I want to before we continue on, Pop Smokes, say thank you to everybody who continuously has been joining us on this journey here in 2022. This might be the last episode of Fusion before the new year. They're not coming back till January 5th, but next week, Papa Smokes and I are going to have a little bit of fun. It's going to be an episode of Ring Respect Radio. We want you guys to come join in on the fun. It's just going to be a chill conversation, and we got Astrid joining us here tonight. Hello, Astrid. You're going to be able to check out Astrid over at her Twitch channel later here tonight for Making an Impact, and she's going to be joined by two very special guests, Mr. Ed Fries and also Chris Parrish as well too. So a great panel over there. Find out everything that happened on Impact Wrestling. But yeah, it's holiday season, Pop Smokes. I'm thankful for everybody who has been on this journey with us and continues to support us. We want you to continue on this journey with us in 2023. So next week, we're just going to have a big old party. It's going to be a big old pre-New Year's party with the Video Bros on Ring Respect Radio next week. We're going to talk about the stuff we liked in 2022. We're going to have fun. It's all positivity. It's going to be great. Yeah, you got to love the holiday season. Why not, right? You got to be in your best mood and have a good time. Be cheerful and be thankful as well, too. And you know what I'm thankful for, Papa Smokes, aside from taking this journey with you and all of our friends, is promos from our good buddy Juicy Finau, one member of the Samoan SWAT team, which is what we had up next on this episode of Fusion. And he's got a lot to say, but in the end, what he said best was, because he's festive as well, too. He says, I'm here to drink your beer, smoke your weed, and eat your food. it was a great promo because it was a lot of fun, and that's exactly what Juicy Finau is. He has a lot of fun. He's a big old man, and I like this. I had a good chuckle. This was placed in the right place on the show. Lots of good fun with these guys.
Juicy Finau is awesome, and as a babyface, he comes across real. He comes across funny. The fans like him. Every time he's appeared, you and I have both remarked that we've liked him. He's over with the crowd like crazy, and a little promo like this just shows the kind of wacky side of the guy. We've seen a little bit in some of those Samoan SWAT team little vignettes where they're have their stolen material and they're selling it out of the shopping cart and all that stuff. Good stuff. Funny, and the fans like it. It's funny. It draws them towards these baby faces, and you gave a quote from this promo. I wrote down a different quote, so we get even more. He said, MLW dressing room is a buffet, and we hungry.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was pretty fitting, especially for a guy 475 pounds or whatever he is. He looks like he's hungry.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's a very hungry boy, and again, someone who probably digs this season, because guess what? This is the season where you get to stuff yourself all full of sorts of goodness. I mean, it's unstoppable, the amount of great foods that are out in the holiday season. But we hope you have a great holiday season, but also be safe and be good to each other as well too. After the Juicy promo, which we obviously loved, we got a Taya Valkyrie promo because, again, tonight for the MLW Featherweight Championship of the World, we've got defending champion Taya Valkyrie taking on Lady Flammer for the championship. So we're finding out Taya's thoughts on tonight's opponent, thoughts on the match. She seems a little revved up, a little bit like she's been disrespected and underestimated. It feels like Flammer is kind of just being a little too big for her boots, as it would seem. So yeah, Taya very fired up, ready to go. She seems like she is very focused going into this one. This is going to be an exciting match, Papa Smokes.
Yeah. And not to jump ahead, but just in the context of later on during the match, the commentators kind of cued us in on that it's a tough world in the world of ladies Mexican professional wrestling, and there's a lot of heat between a lot of those wrestlers, and they kind of touch upon that where some of the newcomers aren't treated so good in a few of those circles, and some of the veterans aren't treated so good. They said it's a dog-eat-dog world down there, and Taya Valkyrie's obviously one of the top dogs there, but as we saw in the elimination four-way ladies match, she's got a bunch of stiff competition coming up, and we'll see just that in the title match later tonight with Lady Flammer.
We really will. We'll get to that very soon, but up next, we had a lot of fun with this because, again, you can still check this out on all our channels, whether it be the Video Bros Network or right here on Twitch. Papa Smokes and I interviewed this next guy up on the screen. He's Mr. Alex Kane, the suplex assassin. Boomaye! Boomaye!
Boomaye! Boomaye!
We love us
so
some
fun.
Alex Kane. Oh, yeah, love this guy. And, man, he's just out there. He's dropping bombs, as always. He's letting the people know how it is. He's also letting Davey Richards know how it is. He has got Davey right in his sights. He wants to get his opportunity back at the Openweight Championship, the National Openweight Championship. I think it's got to happen sooner or later. Davey versus Alex Kane 3 has got to be on the horizon.
It's got to be. That's money on the table right there. Their previous matches have been complete fire, as the kids say. And I also think it's neat the way the Opera Cup story is fitting into this, that Alex Kane and the Beaumaye's Fight Club stole Davey Richards' Opera Cup right after he won it. But now, considering what's happened in the meantime, that Davey Richards has won the Openweight Championship off of Alex Kane now has a chip in his pocket, so to speak, or a card up his sleeve, you might want to say, with having that actual trophy, because he can leverage that trophy towards a title shot at the National Openweight Championship, which is what everybody in that locker room wants. But Alex Kane can pretty much demand it because he's got what Davey Richards earned and what he considers his own property and what MLW wants back for their next Opera Cup tournament. So Alex Kane holding all the cards in this right now.
Well, we forgot to mention that it's no longer the Uppercut Papa Smoke. It's actually the
Yeah.
Bomaye Cup of the Gods.
Yeah, I like the new name.
It's fantastic. But we weren't done with Mr. Alex Kane. After this promo, we go down to ringside because it's time for the Peach State prize fight. Alex Kane has done this before where he puts on a prize fight. Anybody can come down. 5 minutes. That's all they got to last with the Suplex Assassin is 5 minutes. And it showed it right up on the screen. If you can last 5 minutes with the Suplex Assassin, you will receive a payment of $2,250 US. Not a bad payday for 5 minutes worth of work.
For sure. But would you do it, Munson, if you had the chance? Would you get in there with the Suplex Assassin? Because as he told us when we talked to him, I asked him, how many suplexes do you actually have? And he couldn't even answer, or wouldn't, because it's over 100 for sure.
And that was mentioned by commentary as well tonight, too. And you want Papa Smokes to answer your question? Hell no. I don't care if there's that much money on the line. I have no reason to be stepping in a ring with anybody. And guaranteed, I would not take Alex Kane up on his challenges like this. I would not last 5 seconds, let alone 5 minutes.
Yeah, me neither. There's a reason we're video bros and they're wrestlers, right?
You're goddamn right, Papa Smokes. And we'll stick to being the video bros for that exact reason. And speaking of a wrestler, a man that just wrapped up his career, and also one of my other bros, our bros, in fact, joining me every Sunday on Busted Out. There he is, Mr. Chris Parrish. How you doing? Good to see you, as always. Happy holiday season, my friend. We got a big Busted Out coming up this Saturday. Guess what? December 25th. It's the Christmas special. I think it's called Holy Shit. It's going to be a good old time with myself and Chris Parrish this Sunday for Christmas Day. It's going to be, why not, right? Have a drink, have a cheer. Christmas time with the Brunch Busters.
Yeah, you better get ready, Parrish, because if I know Munson on a Christmas Day at noon, he's going to be drinking hard already. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, you got the whiskey, the eggnog, the champagne's flowing. We got wine bottles. We got it all. I a couple whiskey bottles that haven't even been cracked open yet, Papa Smokes. We're going hard this holiday season. Bobby's doing it up big.
Heavens.
So back down to the Peach State prize fight. Mr. Alex Kane put it all on the line, and he's got an entourage now. Not only is the young goat Myron Reed, member of the Bomaye Fight Club, at ringside with him, but he has got about 4 guys down there, and they're going to be holding signs. They're going to be showing you just how many suplexes the Suplex Assassin gets in his matchup here tonight.
Yeah, I think just for the for this series of matches as the prize fights or whatever, he came out with a fighter's corner, so to speak, a cut man and a manager and whatever else, make it look like that anyway. But do you remember when Alex Kane first debuted in MLW, before Bomaye Fight Club and all that, he used to come out with King Mo. Mm-hmm. And Mo had those signs up for counting the suplexes and rating them and all that stuff. It's a good one. I like that.
That's why I was psyched to see it back. It kind of missed that. I thought that was a very nice touch that they had going with King Mo at the start of Alex Kane's run with the company. So the fact that he has the entourage there, guys who, maybe they're not the toughest necessarily. I don't know their background, but at least they're there to kind of block the Suplex Assassin if the wrong person were to try to come out. But lo and behold, we got some music playing for the challenge here. And all of a sudden up on the screen, it says Danelli Dantis Dakota, I believe is the name. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Probably not. I need a lesson or two. Help me out. But D3, we're going to go with D3 because that showed up on the screen as well too. So D3 comes on out. Nice little entrance. Gets in the ring. Has almost like I think I made a reference to Max Moon type gear going on the entrance. Just no mask at all. D3 did not really get to do a whole lot in this matchup other than find out just how many suplexes Alex Kane can pull off in a single matchup. This was short, sweet, and to the point. And our boy Alex Kane, I believe, got at least a good 6 or 7 in there before he laid his opponent to rest in this match.
Yeah, yeah. We got to break this down, Munson, because this was kind of confusing to me. First of all, Kane makes a nice entrance with his corner and all that. It's looking cool. It's looking like a prize fight. He's got the jacket and the trunks and the corner men and all that. Then they bring out who's clearly a job guy, like clearly not a name talent, not anyone we've ever seen before. I didn't even get his name. I saw the D3 part, but and secondly, you don't get a cool abbreviation when you're a job guy. Like, just have a simple name. It doesn't matter what your name is. I'm not trying to look down on job guys. I love job guys. They're super important to wrestling, but come on, dude. That long entrance, pumping up the fans. No one knew who he was. No one cared who he was. It's his first ever appearance here. Why would you give this guy an entrance like that? I don't know. Like, the match was decently long, like not long, but I mean long enough for this seg that they didn't have to give him a segment or a total entrance.
Yeah.
So I didn't get his name. In my notes here, I have shittiest looking job guy of all time with the stupidest name and with the longest entrance. So I don't know. There it is, straight from the notes. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm going to say it like it is. This was bizarre to me. And then I thought maybe the guy's going to get some offense or a little run on Alex because they're kind of making a big deal of him when he comes out. Oh, hell no. He got suplexed right through the mat. All different kinds of cool suplexes. He tried to do that one jumping kick, and Kane caught his arm way up here and just gave him one of those leg trap suplexes right onto his head all the way across the ring. I mean, yeah, just a very fine job guy squash match sort of thing. But what in the hell was it with this D3 guy? I'm not going to call him D3. He doesn't get a cool abbreviation yet because he isn't anybody. So this Daniele guy, yeah, but I'm not going to crap all over the match, but I just found it puzzling the way this guy got a lot too much time and attention in this. But at any rate, Alex Kane goes over looking like a complete beast. Maybe some of these matches, they'll have somebody a little bit better in there, but we'll see about that. Somebody will hoodwink him at some point. Davey Richards will come out for one or something.
And check it out, Papa Smokes, as you just delivered the goods there. I saw this come up. Bastard69, our boy, just subscribed for 2 months in a row. Thank you, sir. And because of that, you get the money spin.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Money
buddy.
Munson.
2 months in a row. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Appreciate the subscription. Everybody, we appreciate your support at all times and making this show as lively as possible. And Matt Papa Smoke, I mean, you nailed it. I mean, granted, I mean, it was kind of bullshit the way they handled the entrance and everything like that. But of course, our boy Alex Kane, you know, rocking and rolling and kicking ass. I mean, that's the part that made me happy. I enjoyed that portion of it. Afterwards, then he says, "Is this all that you've got, Atlanta? Is this all you got?" And then all of a sudden, Davey Richards starts marching his way out. But a good thing that there is the distraction there with the corner guys, and Davey is being held back temporarily. When all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Flying Myron Reed, the young goat flying over top of the cameraman, dives onto Davey Richards, takes his ass out, throws him in the ring, and the beatdown commences. The Beaumoyer Fight Club beat the living hell out of the American Wolf, Davey Richards, and lay him flat in the middle of the ring. See, that's the part. Cut the entrance out because a lot of the, like, we're going to talk about this very soon, the timing of the entrances on this card were not good. But the rest of the stuff that happened was good, which is what balanced the whole thing out in the long run. But yeah, I like this part where Byron did the flying over the camera. We've seen him do stuff similar to that. He's fantastic at it. He doesn't even come close to, you know, hitting the wrong person or anything like that. He is a true athlete. And then just the beat down that Davey gets. This feud continues. They continue to put this on week after week because that is how much the fans want to see this progression of this feud. That is how over Alex Kane is becoming because they need him on television week to week on MLW right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is by a long shot one of the main and best feuds they have going on in this company. still since the comeback from the time off in the in the summer and fall, they still are kind of taking their time in developing some of the feuds and all that. And I know that we're going to see Hammerstone and Duca. That's a big one that's brewing. Samoan SWAT team is going to be feuding with a couple of tag teams, and Mance Warner and Mads Krugger. But this one is a money drawing feud: Richards versus Kane. And I think the fans realize that you're going to get good wrestling matches with these two guys, both skilled, both intense, and both kind of like catch wrestlers or shoot wrestlers kind of thing. So you get to see some huge throws, some real hard takedowns, and also possibly some submission holds and all that good technical wrestling done at an intense level with two of the bigger superstars in MLW. It's a money drawing match, no question about it.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic as this one continues to develop. And you mentioned a big one coming up, the World Heavyweight Championship. Alexander Hammerstone and EJ Nduka announced that when they come back on January 5th, they are taking next Thursday off. I think they're doing a best of next week. But again, I think we'll go ahead and do our best of festive cheer next week and have a little bit of fun with our listeners here, Pop Smokes. But when they come back on January the 5th, we've got two big matchups that night. We got Willie Mack coming to make his singles debut or return to MLW as he's taking on Jacob Fatu, and then the World Heavyweight Championship, the undefeated EJ Nduka getting his opportunity at Alexander Hammerstone. It is going to be a wild night when MLW returns on January the 5th.
And it's nice that after a little break, they're going to come back with a nice card, a good episode of Fusion with a couple of big, heavy matches with connotations that will reach forward into the future and show us what's going to happen with some of these feuds and with some of these title runs.
Yeah, it's going to be wild, Papa Smokes. Looking forward to it. And again, we talked about them starting to build new things, build new people. We saw the crowning of a new champion recently in MLW. That is the likes of Shun Skywalker, who beat the young GOAT, the greatest middleweight champion in MLW history to date, was defeated by the debut of Shun Skywalker, and we got a promo for him up next, most of which spoken in full Japanese. But again, I'm interested. I'm intrigued when I see Shun Skywalker on the screen. He's roped me in, definitely. And again, all we needed to know was what he said last. See you in Philly or in Philadelphia.
Yeah. It's crazy how it works too, that a guy can give now two commanding promos that I was kind of like watching on the edge of my seat sort of thing. And they were all in Japanese. I don't speak Japanese, but the guy's got a way about him of speaking. He's got that mask and then that big kind of fiendish smile underneath. And then you're just listening for the words that he's going to say in English, like the one before he wrestled Myron Reed when he just started it out with young goat. And it was like, oh, man, yeah, you got some English words, don't you? Just the important ones that you need to know. And same thing with this. See you in Philadelphia. He's coming. And, boy, that was a hot match last time with Myron Reed. And I'm totally invested to see more of Shun Skywalker. Never knew about him, never heard about him before this priming these matches for MLW, but I'm into it. He's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I'm on board with him, definitely. And for all the exact same reasons that you mentioned there, Papa Smokes, looking forward to seeing who steps up to the challenge next. Assuming eventually maybe Myron Reed will get a rematch, or maybe Myron Reed is going to move on to different things. We're not too sure at this point, but very curious to see who they have in line for Shun Skywalker and what we're going to see out of this young man throughout 2023. Up next, speaking of young men in the business, he's a young man and he's a very angry man these days. We're talking about the judge, EJ Nduka. We're talking about that match coming up on January the 5th. EJ Nduka is very prepared for Alexander Hammerstone. I felt this promo started off a little weird, almost like he wasn't sure of what he was saying right off the hop, but it was only awkward, I think, for maybe the first couple of seconds. Then he got on cue, and he started delivering. And man, it started to get good after that, as we've seen very much so from EJ Nduka as of late. He delivers, he comes in heavy, he starts talking about his accolades, talking about his size, how how on top of the world he is right now. He starts talking about the bling that he's wearing, about how he's up and above Alexander Hammerstone at the moment, and he's starting to make the champ look like someone who's got an Achilles heel in the form of the judge.
Yeah, and like you said, he started out just a little bit cold in this promo, but I was almost kind of wondering if it was he made reference later on to all the bling that he was wearing, including he had a grill in with a bunch of diamonds in it. I almost wondered if that was giving him a little bit of trouble at the beginning, because you could see he was kind of like, he was conscious of it in his mouth while he was speaking, sort of thing. But he used a line in that said, look at this, diamonds, and diamonds are created under pressure. And that's why I'm the best guy here. I use the pressure and I turn into a rock hard diamond and all this stuff. He's pretty good, man. He's really quite good on the microphone. And I can see why, with the body that he has and the natural athleticism and all that stuff, why some wrestling companies have been very enamored with this guy, especially MLW. And he pumps it up, man. Like I could be completely convinced that maybe they would think of putting the belt on him just based on the build-up to this big match. And we get one in a couple of weeks here, free on TV. Now, I'm not sure if any titles will change hands or anything in that, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do together, what they'll look like together, and what kind of a match they can put on. We know Hammerstone's got very excellent matches in his repertoire. He's quite a skilled wrestler and everything. And Nduka, a bit more of a question mark, but has shown more lately. So I think we could be in for some really good stuff in these main events coming up. And in 2 weeks, we'll get to see these two clash in the ring for the first time.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Can't wait for that one to go down there. And again, we got the rebuttal from the champion. Again, the champ has been on the injury list as of late, ever since he got that chunk of wood or metal or whatever it was right through the lip. He had a lot of stitches put in. And again, they showed that photo, but Hammer delivering a promo. And again, at first he's talking about, he's been down and out and all this kind of stuff. And he starts talking about how, the reason he is a wrestler, the reason that he does what he does, and it's because it is born into him. It is in him. That is all he knows. That is all he does. And then it got better and better as this promo started to deliver from Hammer. And we've seen him pull this stuff off before, and man, he was on it tonight with this promo, especially when he said to the judge, EJ is good at getting just good enough at things, but never becoming an expert, never a top guy at a single one of them. And that's why when it comes down to the two colliding, the champ will remain the champ. And damn it, Hammerstone, just as you're thinking EJ's getting the better of him, you start to believe in your boy Hammer after a promo like this.
Very much so. And it would have been hard to follow Nduka's awesome promo, but Hammerstone with the rebuttal, man, that was really quite good. And he's done a lot of good promos in the past. He's pretty good on the mic. He, as a babyface, he gives you a little bit of himself, how he's feeling, how he's thinking, what his state of mind is and all that. And it draws the fans in closer to him. But this one was awesome. And he kind of concentrated on the whole thing, just like EJ Nduka has achieved a lot, but he's had a lot handed to him because of who he is and what he looks like and all that stuff. And Hammerstone said, I frequently have moments where I wonder, why do I do this? Because I'm hurt, I'm tired, I have so many tough matches and everything. But that's what he ended up saying was, this is what gets me out of bed in the morning. This is why I do everything I do, is because of wrestling. And that's all he does, and that's all he's got. He's a champion and a wrestler 100%. And by the end of this promo, I went back to thinking, damn, maybe Nduka doesn't have a chance against Hammerstone. That's what a good promo will do, is put that doubt in your mind as to, I don't know who's going to win this now.
Yeah, and you know what? We got that to look forward to. Again, as we said, January the 5th, Papa Smokes, we are going to get to see and review that. So I hope that everybody here and let everybody else know to join us on a Thursday night. Again, you don't have to watch MLW to hang out with the video bros. We love having a good time. And again, keep that chat active as always, because there's one thing we do enjoy. We enjoy talking to each and every one of you. And Papa Smokes, we're getting to that time of the night. You know what time it is. We're going to do this. It's time for the main event of the evening. This match scheduled for one fall.
One fall.
And it is for the MLW Featherweight Championship of the World. Gave it one last little thing here as we're coming towards the end of 2022. And we've got a big matchup on our hands. The champ, Taya Valkyrie, the one and only first ever MLW World Featherweight Champion, Taya Valkyrie, defending against Lady Flammer, who had walked away victorious in the four-way luchadora match only a couple of weeks ago to earn her spot in this main event. Again, we were talking earlier about the introduction of the guy who decided to take on Alex Kane. Well, there's another spot that seemed a little weird because we're getting to the top of the hour. And normally they run an hour or just shy of an hour. And we're looking at that clock, Pop Smokes, with 9 minutes left. And they go, everybody stand. And we're going to go through not only the Canadian national anthem, but the Mexican national anthem too. I would have even understood more to the Mexican. I understand Taya being Canadian, but there was a very Latino crowd present in Atlanta for these tapings. And you've got Lady Flammer there. And again, Taya spent a lot of time over there herself. So I think, respectfully, they could have got away with that. Again, you know, yes, mad respect, they did the Canadian national anthem, but oh, wow, they dedicated a lot of time to this portion on TV, only to make us think, are we going to have a quick one-and-done matchup between these two? Or are they going to go a little bit of overtime? And then, unfortunately, too, we went to a pro wrestling TV commercial for Seder Mania. God damn, that guy annoys me. And enough. Quit cutting into our main events, especially a main event like this one. Seder Mania, we don't care. We want to see Lady Flammer versus Taya Valkyrie. And again, now we get to finally find out a little bit more about Lady Flammer. Again, when you get the four-way matchup, it's hard for the commentary to give you the full story of everybody involved within that time frame. This one didn't get to be the one and done we thought it was going to be. It did go a little overtime. They gave the ladies some time to really develop this matchup, have a little good back and forth. Commentary mentioning Lady Flammer is only 22 years old, but she's been wrestling for 12 years already. Started wrestling when she was 10. So again, a lot of experience for a very, very young wrestler within Lady Flammer. And again, we got to see more of her actual work on display in this matchup, which I loved seeing. But again, you can't deny it. Taya is an absolute star, and it's why they want her as the champion. It's why she's going to remain the champion, I'm certain, for quite some time with MLW, at least until they can find the right heel at the right time at the right place to have that feud with Taya that she needs for that championship. They want to build prestige on it as well, too, and that's what they're doing and having Taya there. They're feeding her some new talent, which is fantastic. We got to see Lady Flammer on display, and Lady Flammer definitely did not look like any chump in this. She showed great heart and tenacity throughout this match, did a fantastic job, in my opinion. I thought this was a very strong, really good main event matchup, Papa Smokes. These ladies did fantastic tonight.
Yeah, it was good, and I'm glad to see them get a main event because they have a belt now. They have a champion of some note, Taya Valkyrie. You can do it. You can make an episode of Fusion and give the ladies the main event. My only problem with this is what you already mentioned, is that they had basically with overtime what turned into a 14-minute segment. The match was about 8 minutes after the introductions and the national anthems playing. Again, I'm puzzled by this. I don't know what the hell they're doing with their times on TV. There's just seemed like they wasted a number of precious minutes on their TV show this week, and I don't know what to say about that. Both those anthems played. Yeah, it's nice. It gives that international flavor, but visually, they're just standing there in the ring, and Taya was singing along to just mouthing the lyrics to the Canadian anthem. Nice. She knows the words. That's good. Then the Mexican anthem played. Lady Flammer kind of conducted the crowd a little bit, and they were singing with the Latin presence in Atlanta there. That one was a little more rousing, I guess. But why? I mean, my God, why? When there's so many people out there in the wrestling fan world that love ladies wrestling, that want to see them get their chance and get more time and get main events on TV. Okay, good, nice main event. But half of their segment was wrestling, and half of it was kind of just entrances and those national anthems. I just think this segment could have been edited or used a little bit better in terms of time management. And the match was really good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Taya Valkyrie's a beast, and Lady Flammer looks really good for a young talent also. But they could have done more stuff. They could have had a longer, more involved match. And I get the impression that that's what a lot of people want to see in ladies wrestling these days, especially on TV.
Yeah, and especially when you get two like this, they have a history together over in AAA. So again, the opportunity to see them work in an MLW ring, and again, yeah, we're just clamoring for more. They cut to a 3-minute commercial break for that god awful Seder Mania documentary, and cut into them having their matchup. That's 3 more minutes of the actual matchup that we could have been witnessing. I think we had enough, or put that somewhere else in the show. Allow the main event to play out. This is your main event. That's the match that shouldn't have cuts in it at all. If you ask me, I think you could have cut to that right before they did the break, or right after the national anthems, cut to the commercial, come back, and then give the ladies the full amount of time that they had. It did go a little overtime, so they were allotted, a good, 8 to 10 minute matchup, but it's a main event. I would have said give them even 15 at this point, because, and I know a lot of people think longer, but MLW, that's match lengths. That's a standard match length in MLW, and a main event tends to be more in that 15, 20-minute top kind of time frame. So I would have given them in that time frame to allow this to develop a little bit better, because great on display. We got a question from Carl here, off the wall question. What is a Flammer, and are they only ladies? Well, that's a very good question, Carl, and I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure the Flammer would be something to do with fire, Lady Fire. I would assume that is a reference to, in terms of the name being used.
Yeah, I would assume so too. I was hoping you knew, because I was wondering too, but the way her gear looks and all that, I think it must have something to do with flames or fire.
Yeah, that's my assumption as well too. And I don't know. They did mention that her father was a wrestler as well too. She's a second generation, so maybe he was Papa Flammer, who I'm not too sure. I don't know if I caught the name there, but again, yeah, her dad was a wrestler, so maybe there is a Papa Flammer. At least there's a Papa Flammer somewhere out there enjoying retirement from the pro wrestling ring, or maybe not, because do pro wrestlers ever truly retire?
Well, where there's smokes, there's Flammer. We all know that.
It's true. But yes, again, the road to Valhalla is what ended this matchup. Taya Valkyrie managing to put Lady Flammer down 1, 2, 3, retaining the championship. It's the right booking decision. Again, as we said, Taya is an absolute star. You want to keep that belt. You want to keep it looking prestige. But this is the way to do it. If you cut out all the commercial breaks and everything like that and get down to the nitty-gritty of the actual matchup, this is what you need. You want competitive women getting in there and being able to give Taya a matchup to not only make herself look good, but also to do enough to get them over. Because if they want to continue to use Lady Flammer in any capacity, they've done an excellent job of making her look like a great contender within the featherweight division.
Yeah, but again, in making her look great, give her a longer match than 8.5, 9 minutes. If that's a title match, it should be longer than that, I think. For a regular for a regular television match, I have no problem with a 6, 7, 8 minute. That's not a big deal at all. But if you've already built this into a championship match, including Flammer having defeated 3 other of the top contenders for this belt, then she should go longer with Valkyrie, I think, right? And then we get to see more of both their movesets. Remember, this is still fairly new to all of us. They've been trying to get this featherweights division going for over a year, and it's never really caught traction. But now they got that lovely looking belt. They got a very worthy person to be champion in Taya Valkyrie. And I thought the four lady luchador match was good, was better than those usually are, because they had good talent in it. And I thought Flammer was the right choice to win this. And yeah, this is just a roundabout way of saying I wish they gave them a bit more time for this. If they had given them 11, 12 minutes, we could have had an instant classic here. And it was still a pretty good match, but too much gaga around the edges. I would have liked to just see more in-ring action.
Yeah, and I completely agree with you there. Again, it's never a bad thing that they leave you wanting more. Again, I don't think this is the last we're going to see from either Lady Flammer or Taya Valkyrie. Definitely not Taya Valkyrie now that she continues to remain the MLW Featherweight Champion. It's going to be interesting to see who they line up against her in the new year. Again, I know that there was definitely matches that were announced that have happened within the taping, so we will be seeing more of the champion coming up in the new year. Of course, they haven't quite announced what matches or when they are, so we'll be seeing that coming up very, very soon. But that brings us to a wrap here on the show, Papa Smokes. It's been one hell of a time. I've had a great time with you and with everyone else in the chat here tonight. But the people in the chat, they got to know, where can they find good old Papa Smokes if they want to reach out this holiday season and have a little cheer with my video bro beside me.
Well, feel free to keep your cards and letters coming into Papa Smokes. You can address them to Elon Musk's $8 a month free speech wonderland known as Twitter at smokes_Papa. You can also check me out on Twitch at Papa_Smokes_.
That's fantastic. Make sure that you reach out to Papa Smokes, give him a little holiday cheer this season. And again, you'll find me on a lot of various shows. I tend to show up here quite often on our local establishment. You're going to be able to find me on Christmas Day with my good friend, my brunch buster brother, Chris Parrish, as we give you some holy shit for your Christmas start to your day. It's going to be a fun time. Auntie Wuji, great show as always, guys. Thanks. Thank you. No, you know what? You guys are the stars as always. You keep the chat active and keep us, doing what we do each and every week. So thank you very much. And again, Merry Christmas to you. It's the holiday season. So cheers, Auntie Wuji. I hope you all the best this holiday season. Love and respect for everything that you do and do for us as well too. And that goes for every single one of you. Again, shows you can catch me on though too. You can also catch me this Monday night, Boxing Day. I did a pre-recording with OLE's Melball Collins, and we did a show called Love Your Health, where we talk all about different things in our life that we've kind of gone through when it comes to our health, our struggles with eating habits and stuff like that. So we want to help you guys do better in 2023. So reach out to us and be your support team going into the new year as we look to help each and every one of you get better and get healthier in the new year as well too. So join us for that show coming up on Monday night. And then again, tomorrow you can actually catch this week's episode of Beats and Beatdowns. We are on the letter N, myself and Carl, talking about Nita Strauss on this episode. And then next Wednesday, you're going to be able to catch the very next episode of Beats and Beatdowns as well. That's the letter O. And it's the Prince of Darkness himself, Ozzy Osbourne, that we're going to be talking about next week. It's going to be a great time. But that's going to wrap it up here for the video bros. I hope that you guys all go check out Making an Impact over at Astrid's Twitch channel. She's going to be joined by Ed Fries and also Chris Parrish tonight. So go check that show out. It'll be a wonderful time. Basser again later, boys. I will see you in the morning, my man, for one last day at the old shop just before the break. And yes, we want you to all have a very Merry Christmas or happy holidays or whatever it is that you celebrate. It's cheerful, it's love, it's about family, and we want each and every one of you to have a good time, be safe, enjoy your day, be with your loved ones, everything Bless to you. And we'll see you guys next Thursday for our party time special of Ring Respect Radio. Take care. And for myself and Papa Smokes, Merry Christmas and all the best.
Merry Christmas.